machine learning, deep learning, Gen AI, LLMs, as if they are the same things. But they are not. They are actually the layers. So, like, artificial intelligence is the broad concept of machines performing task that normally requires a human intelligence. So this is a very basic definition I've said to you, which will be able to easy to grip into. So inside AI, machine learning comes into it. So machine learning is where systems learn the patterns from data instead of hard coded rules. Instead of giving them a certain rules or instructions, machine learning is a built system where they observe the pattern from the data already given to them. Inside machine learning, there is a one more thing called as a deep learning. So deep learning uses a neural network with multiple layers into that. And today's modern AI revolution mainly comes from generative AI and LLM, which you guys must have heard throughout the different events happened across the year, right? So yeah, so LLM stands for like large language model. You must be at least knowing these things, right? So these models are trained on a huge amount of data that can be generating a human-like responses. So this was all about the small definition what exactly these things do. So yeah, moving forward. Okay, so telling you the examples of this which we use on a daily basis is Netflix recommendation and ChatGPT, face recognition, fraud detection, AI chatbots. So these are some of the examples which we come across in our daily lives. Uh, so yeah, moving forward. So why did AI suddenly exploded? So this is my point of view. So as an AI research existed for a couple of years actually, but several things changed together. So first of all, massive data generation happened, and GPU advancement made training faster. Where again, coming back to the next topic, the cloud computing changed the accessibility. Like the pay-as-you-go infrastructure was there on a wider this thing perspective. So today, if you don't need to like have the expensive hardware to start AI, just one cloud platform has made the accessibility to AI very simple. Then comes transformers and LLMs, and finally the chat GPT made by AI mainstream. So like now every industry is adopting AI, whether it could be a healthcare, finance, cybersecurity, education, automation, content creation, as Gaurav has already explained that into the previous session. So like we are entering into the AI first era kind of a thing. So this is the surrounding happening through AI. Now let us talk about AI myths. We'll break this myths. First one is AI will replace every job. Everyone must be afraid of this. I'm pretty sure each one of you has got this fear or a question in their self that what if AI takes my job? What if I am somewhere behind and due to the AI advancement, I lose any opportunity in my career? So, but I'll tell you the reality is has changed more job completely rather than replacing them. So AI won't be taking your job, but this will create more job opportunities to work around AI. So it's our duty to learn and build something out of it, a good projects. And the people who understand AI will become more valuable rather than who doesn't understand. The second myth is you need PhD level mathematical background. Honestly, talking about me, I am also an average student in mathematics. Somehow, by crying right, left, and center, I passed my mathematics paper in each and every educational phase. So, trust me, you don't need to have a PhD level mathematics background, and no one is expecting you to do that. But you need to have at least a practical understanding how things work, not a research level mathematics to begin, but at least you should understand. And the next is you need expensive GPUs and everything. Again, cloud platforms solve that problem also with various services into each, like the cloud, different providers have these services. And the next is you must learn everything before you build. So this is the biggest myth. The best way to learn AI is build while learning it. So you don't have to do a theory, understand it like a school time where things are getting spoon fed to you, and then you have to build a project out of it. So that doesn't work that way. So like if you're starting the study for AI ML to grab a good opportunity in future, so you have to learn and build together from the day one itself. Whatever you learn, even the smallest topic, try to build a solution out of it practical way and then jump on to the next topic. So yeah, next I have a complete roadmap for you people, but I'll give you a more simpler vision out of this. Can you see this screen? Just someone unmute themselves. At least Ashutosh, let me know if you're able to see the screen as well. So we'll
Yes,
start.
yes.
Yeah. So I'll give you this complete syllabus later on after the session ends, but focus on these points. So to like answer all the main questions, because a lot of people have been asking me these questions from a couple of months, where to start learning AI ML. Okay, one more thing into it. Before learning AI, there is nothing called as an particular syllabus to learn AI. Comparing that to the cloud. So I'm a platform engineer. I have already worked as a cloud DevOps engineer also. So you don't learn a particular course called as cloud or DevOps, right? It's a complete evolution into the market. So you have to learn a particular cloud provider, whether it's Google Cloud or something else, and then you have to learn the infrastructure, networking, security, observability, different things. So a number of things mixed together brings the cloud DevOps culture. Similarly, before learning AI, you have to keep your foundation strong for machine learning. So, where do you actually start? So, this particular roadmap is not designed by me just. So, like, there were a couple of people on the panel, and we have curated this roadmap where a person who is beginning his or career into the AIML journey and wants to grab a good opportunity, they should learn all these things. Even if you guys know Python or some linear algebra and statistics, probability concepts, just brush it up once by creating a cheat sheet or something and quickly jump on to the next topic. But at least you should have idea instead of missing anything behind. So yeah, not a crash course kind of a thing, but properly learn Python. So you should be focusing on like variables, data types, oops concept, exceptional handling, file handling, and everything. Later on, add on to this, you can also like get into virtual environments, package management, and Git basics. So yeah, this was like the foundation which would be there, and AI becomes difficult later if you don't clear your foundations. Like learning anything, irrespective of any kind of field you are getting into. So next up we have a maths. This is a broader topic, and I would urge everyone to focus on learning mathematics to get your hands more precisely into learning machine learning. This is an important topic here. So it's not scary. This is more sort of a
So next up we
practical.
have a
I'll
math.
also suggest one or two people who are giving a really good knowledge about mathematics to learn into machine learning. First one is a Campus X, I guess, if I'm not wrong. I forgot the name of the instructor. So he has curated a playlist on a YouTube. So he explains mathematics for a machine learning perspective in a really good manner, even if you don't know anything about it. So just go for that playlist and start learning. And yeah, that was all about it. So you have to start learning from linear algebra. So you should understand what scalar vectors and matrices are, dot products, matrix multiplication. So these kind of topics we have already covered in our school. So many of us who are well versed through this, you just have to go through it once. You don't have to just deep dive into it. So like because AI models internally operate using vectors and matrices, that's the reason we need to learn all this linear algebra. Yeah, so then we have statistics and probability. So these are the also topics which we have already studied earlier in our school college level. So this helps us to understand how models make prediction, how accuracy work, and how data behaves. So to study that in future, you need to have foundation to learn this all these things. So whatever prediction systems or models you make into your project has the foundation of statistics and probability. So this plays an important role. Next up, we have machine learning core. So if you don't learn the machine learning core concepts, you won't be able to understand how this particular AI model works. So it becomes more difficult into the future. So it's better to cover it here itself. So while coming to the core machine learning part, start with a supervised learning. Learn all the algorithms such as linear and logistic regression, KNN, decision trees, random forest, SVM. Okay, so like the things which I've mentioned here into this particular roadmap also has been asked into the interview. So if particular guy or a girl is applying for a machine learning kind of any kind of a fresher role or something like that, I'm pretty much sure they might be asking you a question from based on these topics which I've mentioned in front of you. And but you just don't have to memorize algorithms. You should understand the concepts of loss function, gradient descent, overfitting, bias, and variance also. So these are some of the main topics. Then we move ahead to the unsupervised learning, which covers the k-means, PCA, clustering, and everything. So these are some of the things. We'll jump on to the next stage, that is deep learning. So now we enter to the deep learning part where neural network becomes important. For that, you have to understand how perceptrons, activation function, back propagation, optimizers, regularization, all these things work. Then again, you can jump onto the CNN, RNN. So these are also some of the topics which interviewers ask into the interview. And finally, we have the transformers and attention mechanism. So transformers change modern AI completely. Most Gen AI tools today are transformer based only. So this is one of the important topic. Okay, so next up we have LLM and RAG. This is completely about modern AI. So you should understand first what LLM is, how does it work, what is tokenization, what are embeddings, vector DBs, prompt engineering. So these are some of the topics you first have to cover into the LLM. Then comes the RAG, that is retrieval augmented generation. So RAG allows AI systems to retrieve external knowledge before generating the answers. So this is what powers many enterprise AI systems today. Also, next up we have like fine tuning, quantization, open source models. So these stages where AI becomes extremely practical. So you have to have focus on this. Next up we have MLOps. So there is one more recommendation for MLOps. So if you want to have a like look at the content part of MLOps, you can refer to Abhishek Veermalla's playlist on YouTube. So he has, I guess, covered MLOps into his content. So here in MLOps and production, so one huge mistake, first of all, I'll tell you which people make is that they stop after training models. But in real world AI, it's more about deployment. So that's where MLOps comes into the picture. So you have to learn like fast API, Docker, monitoring, data drift detection. So like this is not only about MLOps learning for AI ML, but even if you are into like cloud DevOps or a platform engineering field, you have to have this knowledge of these things which are mentioned under MLOps in production. For this, you can also refer to the cloud platforms like Vertex AI. And because companies don't just want models, they want scalable AI system. So this MLOps and production plays an important role. Next is the security part. So don't have a question in yourself that I'm not a security guy and why should I learn this? So if you're building something, so you should also be able to secure that. So this is one of the underrated areas, I would say. And security is a must. So as AI grows, security becomes more critical. So learning that gives you a plus one kind of a edge. So that's the thing for which you have to learn like prompt injection, data poisoning. You don't have to go into like a deep basics and go through all the concepts of cybersecurity. I would just say these things are enough. Like prompt injection, model stealing. Even if you're not well versed or had your practical hands on into AI security, at least for an interview purpose or for the first time, if you're interviewing into these field of AI ML, have a knowledge how these things work, how model stealing works, what is AI red teaming, how the like your rack system should be getting more secured. So at least you should be aware of these concepts. And yeah, so that was all about the roadmap. And we'll come to the next point, that is modern cloud architecture. I don't have that particular slide, but I'll just quickly say what exactly it is. So now let's connect the AI into the cloud architecture. So modern AI systems are not just models. They are complete distributed system. For that, you need API, microservice, containers, Kubernetes, serverless system, event-driven architecture, data pipelines, monitoring tools. So combining all these things together, you need everything at a one place to get into the modern cloud architecture. So this is why cloud engineers and AI are becoming deeply connected. A modern AI architecture may look like front end, API gateway, Cloud Run, Kubernetes, a GKE, or a Vector DB, Vertex AI, Gemini. And platforms like Google Cloud makes this much easier. So if like anyone is starting their out regarding their journey for modern cloud architecture, like Google Cloud is the best way. They have simplified it more easily to work on it for the first timers as well. And there are a lot of practical insights and kind of a smaller hands-on lab also present on Google Cloud website, through which you can learn how modern architecture in Google Cloud works. So this is one of the easiest way to start around. So next up we have building AI on Google Cloud. So what do you think? How you should be starting it? You guys are not sleepy, right? Yeah, correct. So someone has recommended three blue or one brown for visualization. Even that is one of the really good content present out there on YouTube. Yes, it's an OG. Yes, Krish Naik is also a really good tutor for AIML. Okay, so my question is, if you want to start building AI using Google Cloud, so what all things you should be starting with? Can anyone answer that into the comment section? Okay, I'll go ahead. Okay, so to start building AI using Google Cloud, you should be knowing Vertex AI, Gemini, APIs, Cloud Run, GKE. So you don't have to have massive infrastructure initially. Start small, build practical projects, and gradually move ahead with a bigger vision. So these are the some of the few things you should be starting out while building AI on Google Cloud. Okay, so these are some of the projects I would recommend to get into your portfolio, into your resume, which is AI resume analyzer, AI chatbot. Even if you don't want to put this into your resume, practice this if you're started learning AI ML. So this would give a hands-on session to what all things you have learned so far. And meeting summarizer, how RAG assistant work, create a project and show a diagram, architectural diagram out of it, how the RAG system is working into your RAG assistant project, AI security or analyzer kind of a thing. And finally, one takeaway that I would say that is don't stay stuck watching tutorials. So irrespective of learning AI, ML or any other thing associated with AI, a lot of beginners only create a roadmap and go onto any kind of a Udemy course or a YouTube and start learning a playlist out of it. So I'll be very honest here. A lot of people nowadays have a attention span just like a fish, which is a couple of seconds. So we can't concentrate on one thing for a long time, right? So what you can do is prepare your roadmap, pick a small topic, learn it, do a practical implementation, and then move on to the next topic. So this is how gradually you can go ahead. See, everyone has a different coping capacity. Everyone would take a time. So even a certain duration has been mentioned into the roadmap. Okay, so this ML foundation would take somewhere 4 to 8 weeks. This Python program would be taking somewhere around 2 to 3 weeks to cover. But you never know. Someone would be having a good coping capacity, so he or she might be covering it in a lesser time or take a more time. So have at your own pace and start learning instead of just creating a buzz around. So a lot of us go around to the events happening in our cities across, and we see a lot of projects, talks, presentation going on regarding building with AI, this and that. But after coming home, we just sit and wonder. We know the words that RAG is something, LLM is something, backpropagation is something, but no one, or I would say very less people, take that opportunity, come back home and try to search, get themselves learn that what exactly this means and build something out of it. Like it's not compulsory to build every day something, whatever you learn. But I would say, so there is one more suggestion from my end. On your LinkedIn, whatever you learn, put it out there and have the consistency. So that also gives you a like boost to your LinkedIn profile that shows your consistency. So that has a plus sign of getting you hired if a hiring manager or someone sees that you're consistently building something or learning something out of it. So at least you shouldn't be having a gap in your profile by keeping a post something a month ago or something like that. So that was it. So don't stuck yourself watching this tutorials or something. Right now we are in a, such a industry where we have n number of like resources present. We could start by anything, but it has created a problem for learners that now they are confused from where to begin or which resource to pick. Just have a look at the example which we were discussing a couple of minutes ago. We have recommended a couple of YouTubers who are really good into tutoring for AI ML. But the person who's completely new into it would be getting confused that whom should I start with? Should I refer to this playlist or that? And at the end, we don't like complete that playlist or something. And your goal shouldn't be completing a playlist, but learning out of it. Completing a playlist or completing any course and generating a course completion certificate out of it won't be suffice. Like because building a project, building a practical insight out of it, learning it from core, and presenting that skill into your work will take you to a next level, I think. So that is the thing. The people growing fastest in AI are the ones building it consistently. So yeah, that was all about it. So start small, build publicly, learn architecture, understand cloud, and keep experimenting. So you should be having your questions into your mind, even if these things seems to be very like confusing to you. So if these things seems very confusing to you, like what LLM is or what RAG is, how should I start it, you just have to simply Google it or use any of the AI model and search it. Go onto the Google Gemini and search what RAG is. How does it work? Explain it to me in a very simple layman language, explain me to in the English. So like break down the things and try to understand at your own pace instead of referring to thousand resources present over there. And yeah, that was all about. So anyone has a doubt? I'll share the complete roadmap. Just hold on. Anyone has any questions? I'll give one more recommendation for you people who have been starting their journey, learning whatever into the tech. Pick a topic, learn, put it onto the social media. So, for example, you started with AIML playlist, which I've given you. What is the first topic as a foundation? Python. Pick Python, pick a subtopic, learn it, create a raw content, create a video. You don't have to invest into like getting the equipments, editing, and this. So if you're well versed into editing and everything, that's a plus point for you people. But okay, so I learned this thing in Python, and this is how it works. Okay. Put a raw video onto your social media handles. Next, jump on to the next topic. So eventually, whatever you learn, put your perspective through your visuals into your content profile, and that would also give you a plus point in building your own profile, your own identity. So that is also one suggestion from my end.
Avnish and Rama KP, you can ask your question in the chat itself too.
Okay, so we have a question. Is it too late to learn Python in 2026? No, but learning it in an old school way is it's a time consuming, I think. So yeah, learn it from scratch. Any certifications on a Google skill of much value. Okay, so whoever is starting learning things on a Google Cloud, start with the foundation certificate or digital leader, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, so digital leader. Then you can jump onto the GCP A certification, associate cloud engineer, and then it opens up different branches. So if you want to go into the security, if you want to go into the AIML, so accordingly they have a couple of certifications ahead. So choose your expertise and then you can move ahead into those branches. So starting out, the foundational level certification is a Google Cloud digital leader, and then we have ACE, that is associate cloud engineer. What questions do we have next? So building huge projects with codes from scratch would be like building a car. Okay, okay. Should I have an approach to write my own code myself or understand the algorithm and build with AI? It's up to you. You should at least understand how the code is written, how things work, and understand the algorithm and build with AI, like along with it. I'm expecting more questions. Even a silly doubt is also welcomed. Okay, we have a question. I missed that. Where and how do I learn agentic AI? So, okay, so agentic AI, what is that? Can you just let me know first? Sumit, you have asked this question. Do let me know your understanding onto this. Okay, I'll move ahead. So, like, you can think of agentic AI as the next layer of generative AI. So, agentic AI can give you the reason, plan, your use tools, remember context, and take actions autonomously. So, for example, an AI agent could read your emails, search the web, summarize your information, schedule meetings. So, to get into agentic AI learning part, you have to learn the core basics. That is Python, API, LLM, RAG architecture, prompt engineering. Without these things, agentic AI becomes like more confusing. Okay. And yeah, so you can note it down. So like if you want, I can put there into the comment section. Python, API, prompt engineering, RAG architect, LLM. So these are the core for agentic AI. So once you understand this core concepts into agentic AI, try to understand how agents work. For example, like tool calling, memory, planning. So these are some of the concepts into AI, agentic AI. So you should be able to understand how, I'll put it into the chat, LLM plus tools plus memory actions. So these are the things. I hope that has solved your query at least for a basics. What else do we have? Okay, so multiple agents are hosted using Google Cloud. Yes, absolutely. Like Google Cloud is actually a strong platform for hosting multi-agent AI system. So when we say multi-agents, we mean different AI agents handling different responsibilities and communicating with each other. Okay, I'll repeat this sentence. So what does multi-agent means? Different AI agents handling different responsibilities and communicating with each other. I'll give you some of the examples. So, like one agent handles the research, one agent handles the summarizes information part, one writes code, another one validates the output, one handles the security check and compliance. So, these together form a multi agent workflow. And Google Cloud provides the infrastructure to run all these agents all together at a higher scale. So a typical architecture, I would just write it into the chat. User front end API, API gateway, orchestrator agent. So like this is how the typical architecture could look. So on Google Cloud, you can host these using like Vertex AI, GKE, BigQuery, Cloud Function, and all. Okay, so we have few more questions. What else can Google Cloud help us in related to AI? What has been your experience been with it? So, is there any template for using multiple AI agents together in Google Cloud? Uh, okay, so like Google Cloud helps at almost every layer of modern AI system, and like how the Google Cloud helps in, I've already given you the examples like training AI models, deploying APIs, and all of these. So one reason Google Cloud is becoming important in AI is because it already has a strong ecosystem around the services which are in a like boom space right now, which is like Vertex, Gemini, Kubernetes, data engineering, and serverless architecture is one of the biggest example. Yes, like for your second question, there isn't any exactly one fixed template for like multi-agent system, but there are common, what do we say, architectural patterns. So usually, architecture looks something like front end, orchestrator, specialized agent, vector DB, and everything. So like I've said earlier, every agent handles one thing. Similarly, there are also frameworks, LangGraph, QA, AutoAgent. So all this helps to create orchestrated multi-agent workflow, and Google Cloud provides the scalable infrastructure under them. Okay, so you want me to put some light on orchestration? Wait, I'll give you example, real life example, something. Let me think about it. Hmm. I'm trying to think of a real life example which would be able to relate to other people who are completely new to orchestration. Okay, so let's say you build an AI travel assistant. So now one single AI model usually shouldn't do everything alone, correct? So instead, you create a multiple specialized agents. One agent searches flight, one checks hotel pricing, one creates itinerary planning, one agent calculates your budget, and maybe one validates your user preferences. So now somebody has to coordinate to all these agents together, right? That coordinator is called as orchestrator. So orchestration basically means managing which agent should do what, in what order, and how they should communicate. Think of it like a project manager in a company. Another example I'll give you. So, what does a project manager do? So, like, you must be having at least a bit of idea, right? What project manager does? Anyone? Okay. So, like, project manager in an organization doesn't do every task. Instead, he assign the work, collect the output, validates your response, and combines everything into a one final result. So that's exactly how the orchestration does in agentic AI system. So now connecting orchestration, at least you got to know, right, what orchestration, like how it works. So connecting that orchestrator into the architecture point of view of Google Cloud. Uh, this would be a more advanced topic to say, but yeah, like I'll give you one more example. If you build a music generation AI, like you mentioned, the workflow could be user prompts, generate a calm lo-fi track for studying. Then what will that do? It will, like that one particular agent out of it will analyze your mood, another one will generate the lyrics, one will handle the audio synthesis, one will handle and take care of the quality of the music, and the orchestrator coordinates all of them. So yeah, so this is why orchestration becomes important when AI systems become complex. Okay, so I'll take few more questions. Where was I? Okay, we have a question here as where did I missed it? Okay. What difference does using a LAN chain and structure like that make. Okay, so like without framework, like LangChain, you would manually write API call, memory handling, workflow routing, context management. So you won't be doing a manual work, right? So to simplify that, LangChain is there into the market. So it provides reusable building blocks kind of a thing. Like, for example, prompt, memory, chain, tool, agent. So then LangChain extend this further for structured multi-agent workflow and state management. So instead of writing massive custom orchestration logic, these are the framework which help you build AI system faster and more modularly, I would say. As a beginner learning, where was that question? As a beginner learning Python, what's one project you would recommend? Okay, I would suggest build something small and practical first instead of building a giant project. AI resume analyzer, just a small and very simple example. I'll tell you why. Because it teaches you Python ka basics, API, file handling, prompt engineering, basic front end back end flow, and real world AI usage. So like this would be the simple workflow. And this project teaches like code fundamentals and practical AI integration. I would suggest more 2 3 projects. What could be AI chatbot? Yeah, AI chatbot, text summarizer, AI note generator, or a simple RAG chatbot would also do. There was one more question below that, something regarding lang graph. If any, where did I miss that question? Do we need something was there? Do we need to learn LangGraph if N10 can make easy agents? That's actually like very important part of a distinction. I would say N10 is amazing, doing super like nice work for rapid prototyping and automation. Like what do we say that no code, low code workflow kind of a thing. But for many simple business automation, N10 is enough. But LangGraph is more valuable when you work on workflows, like when the workflows become more complex for your project or whatever work you do, where the agent needs more memory and conditional reasoning is also required, right? Or you want to deeper programmatic control into it. Think of it like this way: N10 is like a visual automation building, and LangGraph is more like a software engineering for AI workflows. So for the beginners, starting with N10 is completely fine, but if you want to become a stronger AI engineer or architect, understand frameworks like LangGraph, which gives you more deeper control over how agent systems work internally. So that gives you more clarity. Oh, okay, so we have few more questions. Which one should I pick up? Working on some project that follows voice instructions and calls the triggers that is concerned to by a server. Okay. What I want to do is, where is that? Okay, before that, okay, how does the orchestrator know when one agent has finalized and it's time to pass the task to the next agent? Okay, this is something cool. So at least I'm pretty confident enough that at least you understand how orchestrator works. So think of it like a workflow engine. So for example, there is one agent which retrieves data. So once it returns task completed plus output data, the orchestrator updates the workflow state. Then based on the predefined logic, it triggers the second agent. So internally, it's usually checking response status, output structure, condition, confidence score. So confidence score is also something for which you need to have mathematics, this core learning into the ML, which I've already stated into the roadmap. So yeah, frameworks like LangGraph actually manages this very well using graph-based state transition. So you can think of it almost like if this task finishes successfully, then move to the next node, where similarly to backend workflow like orchestration system. So yeah, what questions? I'll take the next. This example given by Bhaveshi has given me a condition. What is that? Let me read it again. I was working on some conversational AI that follows voice instructions. Okay, calls the triggers that is connected. Everything works fine in local. Now I need to make it live. Hey, where is that question? Okay, I missed that. Where is it? Huh. Uh, and some applies for embedding models that are trained for specific corpus. What is the way to make it live? Cheapest way. Okay. Okay. So since you're like using your conversational AI, which is working locally, and your APIs are mocked, you have a custom tune transcription embeddings. The next step is mainly to do the containerization and scalable deployment. So now for the cheapest practical deployment part, okay, what could be the recommendation? Dockerize everything. This is my answer. Dockerize, like containerize speech transcriber, embedding service, backend API, like you can write it down. Then you can jump on to like starting with a cloud run. If inference latency is acceptable and your models are not extremely GPU heavy, then Google Cloud Run is honestly one of the best, cheapest starting points. It's like you have to like study more out of it, why it is cheap and everything. My point of view is it is serverless, which scales automatically, pay only when request comes in. So and beginner friendly also. That is one of the cheapest option. But it also can become expensive, like your speech or transcription models, if real time streaming or GPU inference is present. So, if your transcriber requires GPU continuously, Cloud Run may become limiting or costly. In that case, then you can shift to GK or Vertex AI custom endpoints, which would be a better. So, yeah, like Docker, Fast API, Cloud Run, these are one of the cheapest MVP path. Firebase or what do we call that? Firestore, yeah, Firebase or Firestore for quick state management, I would say. So these are some of the recommendations from my end. Okay, we have more questions for orchestrator. Uh, Arman, I know you want to learn more about orchestrator, but I'll answer your questions into some other platform, maybe on LinkedIn. You can ask me your doubts there. Okay, what questions more we have? Did I miss any questions above? As a student, how can I build a strong coding habit while balancing school and avoiding tutorial overload? This is one of the biggest challenge. I'll tell you, right now I'm working profession. I am doing some side things, also doing this community contribution. Still, it becomes challenging and hard for me almost every time to manage. So, like, my recommendation is just to focus on consistency, not on intensity. You don't have to like study 10 hours a day. Even if 1 2 hour focus daily is okay. Like, things done consistently for months beats like random motivation burst. And second thing is avoid passive learning. A lot of people nowadays consume tutorials all day but never build anything. And one more thing, so whoever is learning whatever concepts into AI, Google Cloud, or anything, don't look out to the content on YouTube, Udemy, or whatever social things present out there, and write in your notebook and just close it and jump on to the next day and again write it. So this is not how you should be learning. So just change that way first. So instead, you should use this rule like learn, build, repeat, learn, build, repeat. So for example, learn loops today, then build a tiny project using loops immediately. And don't try to learn everything together. Pick one path. So as I've said, there are a number of resources out there and we get confused. So it's the best way, and you would be already winning your path if you have already figured out what you want to do. So like if you want to learn AI/ML using Google Cloud and there are 10 resources, you'd be already crossing your halfway if you have figured out what path you want to follow, what roadmap you have been kept into like your mind to work around. So that is there. So like pick one path, for example, like Python, API, AI basic, one project. So like most importantly, start building and put that publicly. Even simple GitHub project matters, I would say, rather than completely keeping your profile blank, whether it's your GitHub profile or your LinkedIn or other social contents. Because coding like comes from the confidence, solving problems, breaking things. Initially, if you are taking like hours to solve one DSA problem, that is okay, rather than skipping it and jumping on to the next day. So it's okay. If you have a like lower pace, that is absolutely normal. We everyone does it on their own pace, so nothing to worry about that. Okay, I'll take this one more questions. Are we running out of time?
No, Asmita. We
Okay.
can go up to 45, I guess.
Okay, just let me know once we are done. Okay. So for RAG embeddings, okay, I should. So you actually don't need to restart completely from zero. What you're experiencing is like very normal in modern AI engineering because today the ecosystems moves very fast. Right now you're learning one concept. Tomorrow some people onto the internet, like some of the content creators, no offense to anyone, would be coming and saying this is dead, now this is into the market. So it's okay. So this is also one of the very crucial point which I want to address. So people or some content creators or some of the creators out there on social media who are creating a tech content, they put one statement clearly saying that this tech or this skill or this tool is dead. Now, this is the new thing into the market. And a lot of people think what is dead, even I don't know that as well. So don't worry about that. You have to keep yourself updated. It, like the field which we are studying into right now, we have to like keep learning no matter how we grow into particular field which we are into. But yeah, don't worry of the things which are dead and which are there into the picture right now. So keep learning. And because today, like I've said, the ecosystems is moving so rapidly, like RAG, embedding, vector indices, orchestration. But over a time, you realize they are just different layers of the same system. I'll give you one example. RAG pipeline. Embeddings convert text into vectors, indexes help retrieve vector efficiently, vector db stores them, correct. Sasha improve the latency and cost. So yes, these are handled differently internally, but at architectural level they work together as one pipeline. And honestly, like one mistake many people make is jumping directly into the advanced framework without understanding the underlying flow. So you don't need to have research level depth initially, but understanding the fundamentals is more important. And regarding the context switching exhaustion, like that's completely real. So Like instead of learning random isolated topic, pick one small project and learn concepts. Build something, a project itself, yourself out of it, and do it. I hope that I have answered all of the questions. We have few more. Oh, you are in class 10. Okay, nice. You're too early, but it's really nice like beginning. How to practice writing modular clean production ready code. Okay. Writing production ready code is a skill in itself. Most people don't intentionally practice that. So initially everyone write it works on my machine code kind of a thing. So everyone has that attitude. So production ready code is less about cleverness and more about readability, scalability, debugging, collaboration. So the best way to practice it is through the structure. For example, instead of writing one huge Python file, start separating things. Keep it segregated, like API routes, business logic, database layer, utilities, models, configuration, even in a small project. Okay, and then learn to think modularly. Every function should ideally do one clear thing. You should be able to understand what you have written. Then you can only write a clean modular code which would be able to understandable to other people also who's reading that. So every function should ideally do one clear thing. For example, instead of one giant function handling validation and API passing, saving, split them into reusable components, I would say, and start using real developer practices early, which are like use Git properly, README file, uh, environment variables, and logging, error handling, and what else? Yeah, like read good open source code, I would say. So this is extremely underrated. We are very lazy to read, but yeah, you learn architecture and clean coding patterns much faster by observing well structured repositories. So yeah, and honestly, like biggest jump happens when you build project, break things, and like then you naturally start understanding. Okay, this is structure that is not going to get scaled, so I have to work more on it. So that's exactly how engineering thinking, like engineers think, developing. Just a second. Yeah, so we have questions. What more do we have? I'm in class 10 and interested in many things. How do I choose without limiting myself too early? Okay. Or you do not need to lock yourself into one field immediately. As a class 10th or anyone who's a fresher over here and they have not figured out what they want to do, like should I become a cloud engineer or should I get into myself into a DBA, or I want to get into cybersecurity. If you're not like finalized it, like just calm down. No one is keeping a hunter behind you and just asking you to finalize things and make your life like figured out. So everyone has their own pace, and I would suggest whoever has not figured it out what they want to do in their life, try 10 things. This is the mantra for everything. Understand and try to learn, okay, what is there in cybersecurity. Okay, these are the things which I have to learn if I want to become a cloud DevOps engineer. Okay, so this is more about AIML. This is more about full stack. This is more about data science. Once you try to explore, then try to find out what makes your interest get like builds into. So try to find your interest, and your finding your interest comes from exploring a number of things. So that is the only one way. So like because creativity often comes from like combining skills, right? So like whatever you have started learning, like do along with I would say, like AI plus video editing, AI plus music, AI plus coding. So all are becoming like real industries now. Instead of asking what should I choose forever, or ask or just flip your question like, what should I like enjoy building and exploring right now? So at your age, the goal should be exploration and foundation. Don't worry, you still have a lot of time. You are still in 10th standard, so you have more time to explore and build your interest and explore around. But still, if you want to get into like tech, learn coding basics, improve your problem solving, experiment with different domains, as I said. And over time, you'll be like naturally noticing what you love to do, like which work excites you enough to stay consistent with it. And yeah, like always remember, like first choice does not become your permanent identity in your life. So even at working after a certain ages, also people have their different opinions, different expertise. So things switches. So don't fix yourself into one thing. Focus on curiosity and consistency, I would say. Finding anything is a pain now. How do we step into field as an engineer? That is very a natural and common feeling right now because the tech ecosystem moves very rapidly. Is it scary? Yeah, like even I get scared sometimes. But the mistake many people make is trying to learn everything together, as I've said earlier. So, like, think like an engineer. So, like, pick one roadmap, one tech stack, one project, and follow it deeply. You should be knowing in and out of that, and then only jump on to the next one. Again, a quick example. If anyone is learning Python, you should be knowing API, AI basics, one project of Python, integrating AI into it, and deployment. So, like that alone already puts you ahead of many people. And again, like starting right from today, like beginning at whatever you want to learn, is also keeping you much more ahead of rather than people who are yet just thinking of starting their journey. So you're already moving ahead. You just have to maintain a consistency. There was one more question regarding cloud credit, something I read. Where did I miss that? Hard part of fresher in AI Nepal is a lack of internship. Companies only ask engineers with years of experience. Okay, so there are two things. I'll just segregate this statement of yours. Companies only ask engineers with years of experience. This is not only for Nepal. This is all around. Even in India, even in outside abroad also, I have few of my friends and clients and some colleagues working in different parts of countries. Who give me this thing like stating this, that people are just asking for experiences, how are we like freshers gonna get our first job. It just keep your visibility on your social platforms like LinkedIn, keep your GitHub activate, reach out to the maximum number of people. I'll give you one this thing hack to grab your opportunity faster. This is more of a LinkedIn optimization topic. So imagine there are, so for example, you want to grab your first job opportunity, okay, into, for example, cloud engineer. I'll take this example. So what you should be doing, keep your LinkedIn profile very nicely, like optimized. All the information should be there in your profile, necessary things. And in the search bar, list out cloud engineers. So the people who are working currently as a cloud engineer on that position, you'll see all those people. Send a request to them. Don't only follow them. And once they, out of those 50 people, once they accept your request, so the ratio is very like getting decreased. If you send request to 50 people, only 25 to 30 people will accept your request, just that too by looking at your profile in couple of seconds. That depends on how good you have built your profile. And out of those 25 30 people who have accepted your request, you should be sending an cold emails, like cold messages to them, that hi, my name is this, I'm working on this project, I've seen your profile, you have been building along something similar to this, and I want to know how these things work and what's your intake. So like, say these kind of a questions. Don't simply say I want the job, I want an internship, because right now if you could ask me, there are thousands of messages where people and the freshers is asking me for a job opportunity. So it's not that I'm not replying to them, but it's get difficult at one point to front person who gets a lot of questions asking a similar feed. So in that case, out of those 25, 30 people who we have sent a cold messages, hardly 10 to 15 people would reply you. So this ratio gets decreasing. So you should keep like doing these things instead of like wondering I should be getting a job one day. There are
Um,
certain fields where people ask for experience. So like it is very obvious thing. So if there is a particular person, a fresher, college graduate, and if he asks me, he wants to work into database, and my company handles a very critical database of any particular bank, a foreign bank, I won't be giving him a permission to get into my team and handle my database, right? That would give me a very like a big challenging task. So, but that doesn't mean there are opportunities, not opportunities present out there into the market. So, initially, if you could ask me as a cloud DevOps engineer, they won't give you a production kind of a work startingly. They would ask you as a cloud engineer to build a virtual machine, build 10 virtual machines, give this permission, more sort of an infra work. So there are opportunities into service based MNC startups. You just have to reach out to maximum number of people. You should be having an hunger to stand out from other people. It's okay if Nepal is having a lack of internships or job opportunities, even as a full time also. There are a lot of companies, startups, YC backed, which are booming right now, and they are hiring remotely as well. Try to like get in touch with these people, try to network, look around what opportunities are out there, what they are asking in tech stack. So you should be like searching more out of it. Try to talk with people. Even if you're introvert, you should be speaking out. Can I take one last question?
yes, madam.
Okay. Hardest part. Yeah, I've answered that. How much Python should I learn before moving into APIs, prompt engineering, and AI agents? You don't need to master all Python before starting AI project. A lot of people delay building things because they think I need complete Python first. Instead, learn Python in layers. So, like before moving into APIs and AIs, you should be comfortable and you should know what is variable, how does it work, loop, function, file handling, basic oops concept, error handling, package installation. So like these things are enough to start building. Then while building project, naturally while doing that, you will learn about API, fast API, uh, async concepts, architecture, debugging, and everything. So don't think first I'll finish complete Python. Then Python itself is a huge actually. Even experienced engineers keep learning, irrespective of any tool or skill. So like the better approach is to learn enough Python, like basics, to start building, then improve while building the real systems. I won't be disappointing Sandeep Shrestha. I'll take his last question. I'm just a grade 12 exam appeared student and had got internship in AIML, and I had done two, three projects. Can you help me? How can I do better? Okay. Mm, the next step I would suggest is depth and engineering quality. So, for example, instead of making many beginner projects, take one project and improve it deeply. So, flip your questions. Ask, like, how can I deploy it? Multiple users use it. Can I make architecture cleaner? Can I explain it properly? Can I monitor it? So, that transitions from student project to engineering perspective project. This is what makes you stand out from like others. And also start documenting your work publicly. This is for everyone. It's like GitHub, LinkedIn, technical write-up, like medium blogs, architecture diagram, demo videos. Create raw videos, whatever you feel like. You don't have to like waste your time in editing and everything. So like post it out publicly, and this builds credibility very clearly actually. And one more important thing, don't only focus on AI models. Like many strong AI engineers are actually strong at software engineering, deployment, database, system design. So like that combination becomes very powerful. So your roadmap could be like projects, then deployment, architecture, open source, real world system. And also honestly, like you already are on a good, very good path, I would say. So yeah, even if you want to get a motivation, this is for everyone. Like how should we start filming, being an introvert, keeping like speaking in front of a camera. I'll tell you one thing about me. I'm a good speaker. This is what I feel. I can speak in front of 1,000 people in a conference, but I'm very shy when it comes to speaking in front of a one single camera in a single room. So I started my content creation journey and would be probably posting somewhere around from like 2 days ahead. So yeah, you could see that and give yourself a motivation that if Asmita can do this, you can too. So I'll start that content creation on Instagram probably. And yeah, so this was all about today's session. I think I've answered all of the questions, probably most of them, I guess. And yeah, how was it like? Did you like that session? This is not fair. Everyone has asked their doubt. I have answered almost all of them. No one is answering now.
I think everybody is spamming the emojis, and
Yeah,
please do
yeah.
write in the chat too. Yeah. Mm. I think, Asmita, you should drop your LinkedIn or other
Cool,
profiles.
cool.
So yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
dropping out my LinkedIn ID over here. Yeah, this is my LinkedIn. Best of all time. Thank you, Sandeep. Not a wonderful presentation. I think it was a miserable. I could have done it better. So yeah, this is my LinkedIn, and do let me know if you have more doubts regarding your journey on cloud, DevOps platform, AIML. If you need any help regarding building your projects or something, you can also share your thoughts on that.
Okay. Thank you, Asmita, for giving so many insights for all the question they had. Put it put up it Put it up on the chat, and it was really great insights on on orchestration, on agents, and almost I think every beginner perspective was touched today. So yes, again, thank you, Asmita, for being here with us, and hopefully they had a lot of great insights. Also, we are also sending off Asmita with a huge round of applauses. Do spam your chats with the emojis, and do follow us in LinkedIn too. So yes, we are almost it's almost 10 a.m. So we are gonna close the space for today, and again we'll be joining in for tomorrow. Before that, just like I mentioned, we are gonna have our hashtag for the online series too. Uh, we have five hashtags for the online series too. If you have been to a World Cafe, only one, and if when you tag us, don't forget to keep these hashtags and put all the 5 hashtags on your post. So just like I mentioned before, we are gonna uh, express who won the World Cafes giveaway too. So okay, there are 15 names from the last post. 3 people had only mentioned, I guess, 2 to 3 hashtags, but we had 5. So there are a bit less name from how many posts, how many total of no post, total number of posts there with. So let's give it a spin and let's see who won the giveaway.
Okay, sorry to interrupt you, Ashutosh, but yeah, I'm just
Ah,
wrapping it
yes.
from my end. And yeah, thank you, Build with AI, for having me. See you. Bye bye.
Sure, Asmita. Thank you for being with us. Uh, Okay, I think uh, our winner for World Cafe's giveaway has been Austin Wasti. If you are friends with him or if he is in this space, do mention it, and we would be posting about this on our socials too. And so for you too, like do post about today. And Bhavesh had asked has asked a question about, does the series run for some more days? Yes, we are running currently for tomorrow, and then tomorrow it would be about two sessions and others. And yes, uh, I think then we would be having a break, and again continuing from 15th to 17th. Then we would be having our main series for May 23. So yeah, there are a lot in the line, and I think we would be adding our what do we call this? We would be adding a separate workshop for Flutter too. So yes, that's about that. And I think that's a wrap for today. We also have our giveaway winner. Do post about yourself if you want to take part in our giveaway and share about what you learned today. So yes, Binta ma'am has also shared some insights about her. So yeah, okay. So yes, Bhavesh, I think all the mails are there, have been sent out. We would be sending out more reminder mails too. Do share it with your friends and family. And yes, that's a wrap for today. Thank you for joining with us for the first online series, and I'll see you back tomorrow. Okay. Thank you for being with us, guys. We don't have the recording for the online series. So yeah, that's a part, Pratik. We would be only sharing the live sessions or recorded sessions of the physical events for now. So yeah,